big win for our football team, and just to me, the steps that we took and the ability to compete as hard and as long as we possibly can. There's so much that we got to do better, coaches and players alike, in particular on offense and special teams. I thought our defense absolutely battled, second, third, and fourth quarters, and got put in a bunch of sudden change situations, handled that really well for the most part, and just were relentless all night long. Also, we come out on top in this one against a really good football team. Players and staff need to enjoy this one tonight on the way back, and then we got to grow and learn from it here when we get back in the building Sunday and Monday. So I'll open it up with that. Let me just say this too: just for our fans that traveled here, the amount of orange that was inside of that stadium, in particular in the game that's honoring Coach Majors too. Like that was awesome to see, and players and staff and myself appreciate the efforts that our fan base makes.
We'll start with Adam, then go to Joe.
Josh, what can you say about Trey Flowers, the mistake late and then making the big sack there in overtime?
And just he has grown so much, and you can see that in the way he physically looks, how he approaches every day, and then that shows up in the way that he plays. And it doesn't mean that we're going to play perfect. This game ain't never going to be perfect, but to be able to reset after that play, the look in his eyes, the defense got back in the huddle. You could tell he was disappointed, but you could see it in his eyes when he reset, and it showed in the way that he finished the football game.
Josh, staying with Flowers, you guys are real a little bit early. You get that big play in the end zone, the pick. How big was that moment just to kind of reset you guys and get you going the other direction?
Offensively, early, we didn't do anything to get a drive started. We were completely out of rhythm. Defensively, weren't gap sound, didn't tackle well. We got our feet kind of underneath us a little bit after that play, and it stopped the momentum, the bleeding, whatever you want to say, and gave us a chance to get going in the other direction. Big play.
Austin, then David.
Was there something that they were doing that you kept throwing towards Seth? He had 18 targets today, which was a lot. It seemed like you guys kept going right a lot, more something left. Anything in particular? Or just
nothing in particular. Just sometimes it is just scheme that you want to attack based on where you're getting the ball. Start drives or during the course of a drive. And you look at the way Seth competed. There's some things in the middle part of the game that he'd want back. But a huge play at the end of the game, and probably the way that he competed, I thought Baru did an unbelievable job playing strong, physical, and yards after the catch were critical by him.
Josh, what does it say about the progress when you win a game like this with 2 fumbles and a blocked punt in the second half?
Yeah, it says that there's a lot of learning that needs to go on. Because the fumbles can't happen, the blocked punt can't happen, and it's us as coaches and players continuing to get better, and we got to make those strides here really quickly. And at the same time, what I do love is there's a certain level of maturity that we certainly didn't have last year at times, that our kids are willing to continue to compete, and they've handled the ups and downs in the flow of the game the right way, where they continue to just reset and play the next play. So there was a lot positive in that way.
Patrick, Ryan, and Wes.
Coach, a couple things in the second half of the offense. What was the reason for some of the struggles? Was it what they were doing? You guys not executing it? Second, I think your defense had 25 pressures. It was an ESPN stat, most in like 10 years. What can you say about the way that group played?
Defensive effort, just in general, absolutely relentless. I said it earlier, the second, third, and fourth quarter, that's as good a performance as I've been around in a long time. They got put in a lot of bad positions, from turnovers, short fields, to special teams. They reset, they played, they were physical. The front four and our pressures were relentless on the quarterback all night long. Even if we didn't sack them, we were hitting them early in the ball game. Those were completions at times in the first couple of drives. I heard Coach Banks, Coach G, and I said it too, like, just keep coming, you're going to get home here eventually. And I thought the overall effort from them was special.
How do you assess Hendon's performance tonight?
A lot of positives. I thought we were just a little bit off. He was a little bit off early in the football game, pitching and catching it. The way we attacked them early, didn't feel like we could just line up and run the football right down middle of the football field on them, you know, and I didn't think we executed the pitch and catch very early. Some of the blocking out on the perimeter screens. As the game went on, thought we handled it better. You know, we struggled at protections that time. We turned it over on 3rd and short. Like, we just never got going in the 3rd quarter. We have to be better on the offense side of the football to play all 3 phases together during the second half.
How much better is Aaron Beasley than he was last year, and what's led to that?
Yeah, different player. You know, I think he had a full offseason and really bought in. And, you know, his mental and physical maturity is so much different than it was a year ago. His movement skills are completely different because he's transformed his body. Year 2 in our system has a much better understanding, and so his keys are taking him to play, and he's not thinking. He's anticipating when he's seeing and reacting extremely quickly, and because of all of those factors, he's playing the game in a different way than he did a year ago.
Austin and Joe.
Can you talk about Kamal Haddon's performance tonight? I felt like he made quite a few plays for you guys in his first start.
Yeah, he did. I thought he played really well throughout the course of the evening. Contested plays, batted balls down on the cross-country route. You know, did a really good job in a lot of man-to-man situations, and you know, without seeing it, I would say probably one of his best complete games, start to finish, that he's had here, and we're going to continue to need that from all those guys, but certainly him at the corner position.
Yeah, Josh, with both those guys, and then also guys like Harris and Walker coming and making big plays, are you seeing some more depth and some guys on defense who are maybe giving you a different look and a chance to have a higher ceiling this year?
I do think we have more depth. You're going to need all of them as the year goes on. Just is inevitably this physical game in this league, guys get nicked up. You're going to need all of them. But when they're healthy, it gives us the ability to rotate more, play with more depth, let your kids play harder for longer, and when it's time to get a fresh body in there, we're able to do that. That's true in the second level. You know, you talk about the star position. It's true up front too, which leads to our ability to be relentless and play the way that they did, snap in, snap down.
David and Adam.
Josh, I know you and Alex and Joey have all talked this offseason about Hendon's running and kind of wanted him to be careful on that, but at the start of overtime, it looked like that was kind of the plan to go to him. Was that a result of the running backs kind of being stuffed?
Yeah,
or?
I just felt the way that they were playing at that point in the game, needed his legs for angles and numbers in the run game. The first one picks up a handful. Obviously, the second one, we get the holding call on, it goes around the corner. At times his feet are going to have to be a part of what we do offensively, and some of that's designed, a lot of it won't be. And some of you saw some of that tonight too, where he had to pull the ball down.
Is there maybe a gamer quality, big game quality to Cedric Tillman with that last catch, and knowing that they know that the ball's probably going to him at some point?
Yeah, we're going to keep finding out more and more about him, but we believe in him. He's a big time player. He's got the physical maturity to do that. Just his track record is how he's continued to grow as a competitor. He believes in himself, Hendon believes in him, and our players and our staff believe in him too.
Eric, Austin, and Wes.
Does the growth, like in maturity with your football team, kind of help win games like today with the ups and the downs and the flows, the resiliency factor?
Yeah, a year ago, a game like this, not just some of the things that we did playing, but the ups and downs, I don't think we would have handled it in the way that we need to be able to come out on top, to just keep playing. And we're far from being a finished product. We got a long ways to go. Coaches and players would like to keep getting to where we're capable of being. But the growth and maturity and the competitiveness, man, it's so different than when we first took over. I told the guys in the locker room, I'm really proud of, this shows some of the things we've been talking about, and shows their growth. Proud of them.
You look around college football, App State wins at Texas A&M, Marshall wins at Notre Dame. Winning on the road's hard. Is that one of the big takeaways you have from this? You just no matter, it's easy to look at the mistakes we made, but a win's a win.
Yeah, this is a good football team. We knew that going into
Sure.
it, and they're well coached and big, strong, and physical. Every time you step on the field, man, they got 85 scholarships and they got good coaches too, and so you don't take any of it for granted. You can't do that in your preparation, and you can't do it after it. You gotta enjoy the wins, no matter how pretty or not pretty a win might be. You better enjoy it. They're hard to come by. So, you know, for us to come out here and not play perfect by any stretch of imagination, but compete. Man, we talked about that all week, man. It's gonna take 60 minutes. I lied to him. I didn't know I was lying to him when I said that. But man, the ability to just reset and play, I'm proud of that part of it. And if we learn lessons from this and get better staff and players alike, then we got a chance to keep getting better. And at the end of the day, trying to be the best team on the field each Saturday that we play.
Wes?
Josh, I'm sure there's probably not a simple answer for this, but in terms of how you get a team from when you inherited to becoming a team that can kind of get through a game like this and win it, where so many things go wrong and they could have turned the thing around, but they come back and win it and they maybe wouldn't have last year. How do you build that sort of thing, culture in your program?
Hey, start by having an open dialogue with them, man, and being transparent about, you know, what we're about and where we're going. Getting buying some accountability, and through that you develop some trust, man. And we got good relationships, you know, players and coaches alike. Not perfect, but we're in it together, and players know that we love and respect them, and we know that they do the same thing. And all of a sudden you get to that point where you got some core characteristics in your program, man, and now you can just go compete every single day. And our guys, when they walk in the building, not perfect, but they do love coming in, man, and they do fight, strain, and compete every day. They've become so, not perfect, but so much more consistent in just who they are every day. And we got a staff that's selfless. It's not about any one person, it's about each other, and it's about the power team. You get people to buy in something bigger than themselves, and you got a chance to do something that's a lot of fun, and you get a chance to grow.